Beloved Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Commanders, welcome. This message is for anyone who is shifting timelines, changing paths, or stepping into a new chapter of life right now. If you've been feeling the pull toward something new, such as a new career, a new relationship, a new level of health, a new spiritual identity, you are not imagining it. You are transitioning because your old timeline can no longer hold your frequency. Take this in. Your soul has already chosen the new path. Your only job now is to walk it. Right now, starseeds all over the planet are experiencing sudden clarity, sudden endings, sudden opportunities, sudden shifts in density, a deep inner knowing, a call to rise, and the undeniable feeling that something new is here. This is not a crisis, it is an activation. You are shedding timelines that were too small for your evolution. You are stepping into a life that matches your true frequency. If you feel the pull to change careers, trust it. If you feel the pull to leave what no longer nourishes you, trust it. If you feel the pull to expand spiritually, trust it. If you feel the pull to rest, heal, and reboot, trust it. You are being guided into alignment. The universe removes what is too small before it delivers what is meant for you. This is why you may be noticing a loss of interest in old routines, emotional detachment from old relationships, sudden bursts of inspiration, a desire to be alone, higher sensitivity, waves of intuition, dreams showing new paths, and a strange peace beneath the changes. This is ascension. This is alignment. This is the sacred shift into your highest timeline. You're not starting over. You are stepping forward. The energies of late 2025, at the timing of this recording, are accelerating timeline convergence. This means old chapters must close quickly. New opportunities will appear suddenly. You will feel drawn to your true path, and your higher self takes the lead. You may feel like you're in a void, not quite who you were, not quite yet who you are becoming. This is the Cenubalum, the sacred in-between space where your timeline, your new timeline, is forming. Honor the void. This is where the universe reorganizes your destiny. Here are the next steps as you transition. And before I go through them, I do want to share with you a short story. My life took a very sudden turn at a very young age. I was rushed into a marriage that ended rather quickly after 5 or 6 years. And I had a very rude awakening, when I had to re-enter the workforce, trying to find the right fit, falling pretty much through the system, struggling between dead-end jobs, dealing with harassment, dealing with discrimination, dealing with layoffs and furloughs and so on, until I finally found the right job. And there was a very wise message that I received, that when you find the right job, you will keep that job. And just because it's temporary doesn't mean it's not real. A lot of us here are on accelerated programs where we're not meant to stay in a particular place for very long. We're meant to move amongst the masses. We're meant to be taken out of one environment without any real heads up and thrust into a new environment. where there are new opportunities. And once we complete that project with that group, we no longer have any karma with those people. And so we begin to be drawn to other opportunities or are called to them or recruited by them. And so this is something that, you may be able to resonate with. We are, I'm sure, going to be seeing a lot of unexpected changes with our current work I would say, our current economy. Okay. Expect the unexpected there. Expect the unexpected. Just be prepared for any sudden changes. Always, try to plan ahead as much as you can. Don't worry too much about it. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You will always be where you are meant to be. There's no accident, no matter how challenging the situation is. You chose that path for a reason. So why not just go ahead and finish that project, that lesson, that commitment, that contract, whatever it is, because something greater is always on the horizon. You can't see it, but you can feel it. You know you're meant for something better, something different, something more. That's your higher self telling you, you've got this, and this too shall pass, whatever it is. And a lot of this is a blessing in disguise, as we say, a blessing in disguise, where you just happen to unassumingly find yourself going through something very challenging, not understanding why until you realize, oh my God, when you look back, that it was something where, I'm sorry, Zeus is here, you guys. It is something where you want to be in a position to, move forward. This is something where we have really been, say hi, Zeus. Hi, baby. Say hi. Okay. This is something where we really have to decide when we want to move forward. We move forward. We don't look back. There's no second guessing. There's no looking back. There's no doubt in your mind that you are being divinely guided wherever you are being guided to. And so you come out of this why me mentality when things don't seem right, and you realize, well, I chose this. You chose whatever it is your circumstances are, and it's hard to realize that. But if you think back far enough, you'll think about when you first accepted whatever your terms were, when you first accepted your lease on your home or your mortgage, okay, when you first accepted your current position or job, when you first accepted the terms of your personal relationships, okay, you chose this. And until you demand better, you get what you tolerate. You get what you tolerate. And that in no way means that it's on you for being a good person and trying to see the best in people and trying to see the best in opportunities. But everything has been there molding and shaping you, providing you with the experiences that you need in order to be on the level for the next big challenge, okay, the next big thing. And nobody grows internally without being exposed externally to these challenges, okay? So when we're here, and we're trying to figure out what we want in life, because it always seems like we're the ones who have it harder than others in so many cases because we're physically experiencing it. We don't know what's going on in the lives of others. We don't know their full story. We don't know what they went through to get to where they are. We don't know how miserable they've been, okay, at one point or another, in order to find the happiness in their life, if they appear happy. And of course, facades are facades. No one really knows what's going on behind the smiles of others. So unless you're an empath and you can feel it when there's tension or there's something out of alignment. most of us just see other people, they look like a happy couple, and you just say, God, why can't I have that? And you don't know how unstable their relationship is behind closed doors. So be careful what you wish for, because you will attract that energy into your relationship. And the last thing you want is a phony relationship, or a relationship that is, it looks great on the outside, but on the inside, it feels awful. So with that, we have a lot that we are processing right now. It's the same. It's kind of like America in itself is the perfect example. Looks rich on the outside, but it's quite poor on the inside. And so many people come here from around the world, and they're in shock when they see how hard it is. How many homeless people we have, how hard it is just to get health care and so forth. So I'm bringing all this up because we're here to correct the timeline, and we can only do that by taking a rather authentic look at the way things are. We have to be realistic. We have to be honest about what's working and what's not working. We have to be bold and quite courageous at trying new things. We cannot go back to the 20th century. We're stuck. We're in the now. And the now is about figuring it out. The now is about learning from the past and visualizing, having the vision, being visionaries, knowing what we want is better for ourselves, and trying to get from point A to point B. And so here are some steps in this transition. Okay. And so we want to make sure that if something's draining us, if something's draining you, it's not, in alignment with you, then it's not in alignment with your best or highest timeline. So list whatever it is. Just write it down. It may be 2 or 3 things. It may be 10 things. But be honest. What is draining you right now? Because that is something that you are going to have to release if you really want to experience your highest timeline. Maybe you need to take time away from it and observe how much smoother your life is without this or that in it. Okay. You want to follow the path of peace. Your new direction will feel calm, even if it's unknown. Okay. So whatever feels good, you have to go with that. Whatever, is giving you peace. That is the clue. Track your days. If you're having an off day, try to figure out what triggered that off day. Try to figure out what's stressing you so much. Try to figure out if you can eliminate it altogether or make a compromise where you can, not be so drained in that situation. Silence. Silence is your compass. Spend time in stillness. The directions are already within you. So many of us are being called to be back out in nature. Or, of course, if it's due to the weather, so many of us are having this restlessness. So we just want to feel active. We want to get out there, but we don't have the energy or the focus or the time or whatever the excuse is. It's really up to us to tap back into our most natural state. There was a time when humanity wasn't boxed in all day staring at a computer screen or a TV screen or a phone screen all day like they are now. And here they are wondering why they feel drained all the time. Well, look at your screen time. How long have you been watching TV? How long have you been staring at your laptop? How long have you been staring at your phone? Are you doing it at 3 a.m.? Are you doing it all day? I mean, like batteries, we are drained, okay, from the technology that surrounds us. And we have to be very careful and make sure we're limiting our time, okay, in the matrix. So we also need to let go of the need to try to control things, okay? Your soul has already created the path. Your body is just walking it, okay? Your body is just walking it. And so, we have to, of course, get there mentally first, but our bodies will always follow suit. But the mind has to be there. The mind has to see the walkthrough before you physically walk through it. But once you have made the decision mentally, it's already done. You've already projected the timeline that you wish to align with. It's really just about you taking the next step, taking action. So you want to also say yes to the new. You want to say yes to the alternatives that arise, even if they seem kind of bizarre at first. Be open to new things. Opportunities will arrive, and your only task is to recognize them when they come along. Don't just, keep doing the same old thing and then wonder why you're bored all the time. Just try to keep your eyes open for other alternatives out there. There's like, we're all pretty much doing things. We all have that, I think, that bottom line, but there's like an infinite amount of ways to do things that we haven't even really considered, so there's always a smarter way, to work smarter, not harder. There's always a better way. And so, we need to just brainstorm. How can this be done? How can more of this be done and less of that be done? Especially if it's not fun, especially if it's, something that is repetitive, redundant. It's something that you really have to be open to ultimately. Trust what you are leaving behind. Anything that exits your life is now a graduation, not a loss. A lot of people feel like they have failed if they've lost something, a job, a relationship, whatever it is. They feel the loss, okay, and they don't completely heal from it because they keep looking back and thinking, oh God, if I only did something different, if only I could have done this another way, or if only I was more ready for this or more ready for that, or more prepared, or didn't say this or that, or do whatever. Own your experiences and tell your story in a way that is empowering so that it can heal others, so that others can learn from your story and be empowered. Do not share anything that makes you feel regret. Allow the loss to pass over you if you're really feeling the heartbreak or the disappointment or of the opportunity of whatever this was. But ultimately, know when it's time to, grab that shovel and bury it. Bury it. Whatever it is, it's time to bury it and move on. Plant the seeds for your new life. There's a reason why you had to wrap up that chapter so that you could be ready for grander opportunities, for better relationships, or whatever it is. There's always more. You are always leveling up until you decide, I want to go back. Why do you want to go back? Why do you want to repeat the past? Unless you just enjoy being miserable. Things end for a reason. No matter how many times you go back and try to repeat the lesson, it's probably going to end around the same way or in some other form. Everything has an ending and a new beginning. Everything, you have to just accept the cycles, okay? It's something. So it's something to really to grasp ultimately, because you'll see patterns in your life. Go back and think about, okay, when was the last time I was really at peace? Was I in a relationship or not? If you weren't in a relationship the entire time and you were peaceful during your off years when you weren't involved with people, there's your clue. If you were happiest being doing whatever you were doing or sharing your life with someone, there's your other clue. Get back out there and start dating again. If that's what you want, if you really want that, don't be afraid to keep trying. Okay. There's like 8 billion of us. Eventually you're going to find the right partner. Just keep going. And also understand that what you want wants you. Okay. Be open to those opportunities. Don't get so bogged down in the past that you feel like, okay, I am this or I am that. You have to define who you are, whether you are between jobs, between partners, between spouses, between whatever. Just understand there's going to be a next chapter, no matter what. Even when you transition from this body to the next, there's gonna be a next chapter, and you're gonna have to keep learning. You're gonna have to keep growing. You have to keep expanding. You know, you're either expanding or you're declining, and you don't want that. You are here to expand. You're not here to be stuck, okay? Or stick to whatever limitations have been placed upon you. So I do want to say that if you anchor your frequency by breathing and speaking softly to your soul, staying grounded in your truth, that in itself is going to heal you on so many levels, so many dimensions, okay? This is something where I feel like for the collective, we're all undergoing this huge process, this huge learning process where we have to get to the point where we can get beyond this. We can get beyond this. We don't have to worry about how it looks. 21:21 on the clock. I'm getting so many notifications today. But yeah, you have to understand that a certain amount of time has been set aside for you and that you have already decided how you want to spend your life. You chose this lifetime in the current timeline. You decided what you wanted to learn from it. You decided which relationships, which contracts, which karma or karmic contracts you wanted to learn from, you wanted to fulfill, okay? When you came here, you knew which karmic contracts you wanted to fulfill. You knew which lessons you wanted to learn. You knew what you wanted to contribute to human history. You knew what you wanted to contribute to the human experiment. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not lost. You're exactly where you're meant to be. In the doorway of destiny, stepping into your highest expression. Your new path is already written. It is already done. Anytime you are feeling stuck, lost, disappointed, or unsure of yourself, okay, remind yourself, it is already done. I already am successful. I already am, fill in the blank. And once you focus on being in alignment with that frequency, that energetic frequency, all right, tapping into that energetic frequency, it all falls into place. It's kind of like when you have a goal, but think about all the goals you have accomplished. You had to get to a point where you thought of the goal. Then you had to think about how you were going to achieve it. Then you had to think about physically achieving it. And once you've achieved it, it's like, wow, what if you went back and said, it's already done? Because you're seeing on the timeline how it was done. You can't go back. Your past self, they can't see the completion, but they know on some level, on some spiritual level, some frequency, they are capable of it. And they know that if they just take the right action or the right approach and really believe in their vision, it's going to be done. It's done. But for those from higher dimensions, higher frequencies, who are seeing past, present, future simultaneously, it's already done. All of this is done. We're just experiencing it from a 3D level perspective. But when we're out of body and we're tapped into source, we already see it. We've already seen it all come and go. We've already seen Earth come and go. We've already seen the Milky Way collide with the Andromeda galaxy. We've already seen it all. It's already done. Okay, we've already seen the universe expand. We've already seen the universe collapse and rebirth itself. Okay, so we're talking about infinity here. We're talking about the cycles of time. And we're just here playing our little games in our little 3D bodies. And it's already done. Once you realize this, once you realize that you are stepping in to your new doorway of destiny, and it's literally like walking into the white room of consciousness or the rainbow room of consciousness, wherever you choose to go, okay, depending on where you are in your consciousness. Everything's like a simulation. Doesn't matter if you're walking indoors or outdoors. Everything's like in a room of consciousness. And as long as you are in that space, anything you wish is possible. You just have to manifest it. You just have to figure it out. You just have to remember it's already done. You can think about it. There's things, basic everyday things that you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I have so much to do. You don't know how you're going to get it done. By the end of the day, it's done, or it's done by the end of the week or whenever, in a reasonable amount of time. And all you had to do was breathe deeply and root it, anchor it from 5D into 3D. And it's, that's the sort of mentality you have to take on. Your future self is already calling you. Your soul is already guiding each step. All you have to say is, I'm ready. The universe will move mountains to meet you. The new path is already written. This is what we forget because we get so bogged down, 26 on the clock. And the whole thing has been like, just the next chapter. Transitions are hard. They are, I'm not here trying to say, oh, this is going to be so easy for you. All you have to do is think about it and, like a genie. Transitions can be rather hard because we're so attached. We get so attached to people, places, things, situations, financial status, all these things, but they're not real. They're not permanent. If it can change, if in an instant, it's just the illusion. It's the illusion of comfort. It's the illusion of stability. It's the illusion of civilization, really. Okay. None of this is like eternal. And so whatever we're experiencing, it's meant to come and go. It's meant to flow. It's meant to, it's meant to expand, collapse, and expand again. It's meant to pulsate through you. And if there's something that you are not in alignment with or isn't in alignment with you, it will fall away, whether you want it to or not. It's kind of like a natural thing, because if something's no longer resonating with you, you're going to find your way out of that situation if you don't belong there anymore. Whether it's by choice or someone else making the choice for you. That's just kind of how it works. None of us are really kind of, here by accident. So I don't know if that helps or not. I hope it does. But yeah, I think we're in a very interesting stage in our spiritual evolution at the end of 2025, going into 2026, hopefully with some healing, hopefully unpacking all of the baggage, because there's been a lot of baggage from the last decade or so with the pandemic, with the everything. Everything's just been crazy. Okay, for the past 10 years. It's been really unstable politically. It's been really unstable economically. There's been constant world conflicts. There's been horrific things happening across the world and completely erased from, the record, or the media is not covering it, whatever it is. So we're aware that there are so many more important issues out there that we can be focusing our energy on. But we're still trying to play this game. And we have to decide when we're going to master the game once and for all, and get off of the treadmill. We have to get, on to bigger and better things. Because if we're not designing the future, if we're not planning the future, if you're not, creating, really tapping into our creative flow every single day and trying to do something that uplifts us, then yes, we're just asking for the misery to creep in. If we're unable to fill ourselves individually, we can't look to others to fill that void. We have to learn what makes ourselves truly happy. and we have to be accountable for our own happiness. You know, we can share it with others, but we can't place these unrealistic expectations on others. Okay. The whole purpose of this transition, okay, between, I would say November, December to January, 2025 into 2026, or whenever you are seeing this on your timeline, because this is a lifelong lesson. It doesn't just change because of the calendar. Okay, there's always going to be challenges, even when there's no such thing as the workforce anymore, which will be replaced eventually by AI and robots and God knows what else. Humanity is going to have more time on their hands. They're going to have more time to focus on what they love, to study, to explore. Okay, they're going to have more recreational time. But at the same time, someone has to step in and correct this scarcity. We would have to reach a post-scarcity civilization for that to happen. And it is coming. And it may be coming much quicker than we think. Once we get rid of this, and I want to be careful how I say this, but the billionaire class and trillionaire classes, okay, it's going to be so obscenely wealthy that that one person has all this wealth while millions and billions are, being breadcrumbed, that it's going to reach its peak before that collapse. So keep your popcorn ready for that. But we have to remember, most of all, that our intrinsic value it's not based on what's in our bank account, or our worth should not be measured by our relationship status, our health status, our business, our, financial status, and so on. We have to look beyond this limited state of consciousness that we are trapped in right now. And it does feel like we're trapped. We're not trapped, but it feels like we're trapped because we're still having to play the matrix game, paying the taxes, the bills, and all these other things that we shouldn't have to do. Like in the future, no one's paying bills. That's retarded. I hate to use that word, but it's primitive to charge people for food and housing and all this other stuff. It's primitive. It's really primitive. So until we can reach that type 1 civilization and type 2 civilization that we're striving for, okay, we're going to have to keep playing the game. And it's really about being gentle with ourselves, being patient with ourselves and each other, understanding we're doing the best we can with the tools that are available now. But we're not going to limit our vision. We're not going to limit our sense of possibilities, okay? When we're told, oh, that's impossible, that will never happen, you can't do this or you can't do that. It's like, yeah, we're going to do it. I'm telling you, it's already done. That's going to be your new mantra. It's already done. It already is, I went through this personally, you guys. Trust me on this. There was a point in my timeline where I wasn't writing books. And then Spirit said I was going to be writing books. And I'm like, that's impossible. And before I knew it, I was writing books. And now I'm in the timeline where I'm writing not one, not two, but I've written over 15 books. And I don't know what happened because I don't know anyone else who has done this in a year or less. But yeah, it's like that. And anytime I would doubt them, they would respond, it's already done. And I couldn't see it. I couldn't see myself writing a single book. But when they said it's already done, it already is, I was like, okay, that's the timeline they're aligning me with. That is the current timeline I'm on now. And the rest is history. And a lot of us have these similar stories, okay, where you were like, 1 minute you're not in college, the next minute you're holding your degree. 1 minute you're at this job, the next timeline you're on another job. 1 minute you're in this relationship, the next timeline you're out of that relationship or with a better partner, or okay, that's just it. And we are so numb to these gradual changes and shifts, okay, that we don't really think about it until we look back and go, God, I've been through a lot in my life. A lot of us feel this way. We've been through so much in our lives, but we don't really understand. It's because there were timeline shifts. There were alignments that had to occur. There were synchronicities that had to occur. There were planetary placements and all kinds of dynamics behind the scenes that had to occur. There were angelic interventions and extraterrestrial interventions, okay? And you cannot make this stuff up. And it's all been there behind the scenes, but you didn't understand it until you got through it. And now you kind of have a sense of awareness. I hate to keep saying consciousness. What I really mean is awareness. You had to have a sense of awareness. Okay, awareness of the synchronicities, awareness of the beauty and the fate of it all, the awareness of your capacity for change, your capacity for creativity, your capacity for whatever. So yeah, I leave you with that today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if any of these comments resonated with you today. I appreciate you. I love you. Keep the faith. You've got this. Happy journeying to you.